सहना भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अथ अष्टादशोऽध्यायः। अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। Same old question. Yeah. So many times it has come, wearing new disguises. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Camouflage sometime, this thing sometime, new disguises. And so now it has a beard, a new avatar, mustache and beard. New, same question. And here he puts it in an innovative way because he wants sannyasa badly, not because he is ready. Well, when are you ready for sannyasa? When you don't want it anymore. When you badly stop when you stop wanting it badly, then you are ready for sannyasa. Because that also is a desire, correct? The desire for sannyasa, what is it? It's a desire. And so when that too drops, when you say, I am fulfilled, whether I wear orange or whether orange wears me, it doesn't matter. I am free. I am fulfilled. I am complete. When you are able to say that, then the Guru will decide, this person is ready for sannyasa. That is how it happens. You know, in everything it seems to be like this. When you stop wanting something, it comes. How unfair is that? So if I've worked hard to stop wanting it, then why should it come? Is that the time when I want it, it should come? But here I've stopped wanting it, I've trained myself to stop wanting it, and then it comes. Not fair, but that's how life is. And you work on it, you drop it, and then it comes. And but Arjuna is not able to drop sannyasa. Why? He has a terrible life right now. And what is the terrible life? Having to kill your own kith and kin. It's not a very nice thing. The people you grew up with, people you love, people you are connected to, they have been terrible to you. They have encroached upon your land. They have ill-treated your subjects. They have ill-treated you. They have tried to kill you on many occasions. And then now you are in an open battle with them because all diplomacy has totally failed and gone. And so, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. This is what? And that going is what? Sannyasa. That going is here, this wanting to take sannyasa. And he hasn't dropped that. But neither has Bhagavan dropped his redirection of Arjuna slowly back, corralling him into Karma Yoga. If Arjuna has perseverance and determination, Bhagavan, who gave Arjuna the perseverance and determination, think of how much determination and perseverance Bhagavan should have. Bhagavan has limitless amounts of perseverance and determination to redirecting him back to Karma Yoga. No, 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 no. Just like we tell a child, no, no, don't go there, danger, danger, come back. Go this side. Play with these toys, not that. That's not for you. Arjuna, in other words, is not ready for sannyasa. And he becomes a guiding light for most of the people in the world who are not ready for sannyasa. Either they are not ready or they don't want it. And it's okay, because the mistake that has been made, as we have seen right from the start, is mistaking sannyasa for self-knowledge. Both of them start with S, but they are not the same. Sannyasa and self-knowledge are not one and the same. One can be a sannyasi without self-knowledge, right? Yeah. One can be an Atmajnani without sannyasa. So the two have nothing to do with each other. One is the means, the other is the goal, the destination. How can you confuse the two? There is no connection. And this Arjuna has a block because of the urgent want. There is a block. Something that one wants badly, around that we find we are not able to think very clearly. When we want something very, very urgently, the clarity of the thought process is obfuscated. It is not very, very clear. And so to here, he recycles back to the same question, disguised as, please tell me the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. And the Lord's answer is very interesting. The Lord does not touch on the word sannyasa, and he says, oh, let's talk about Tyaga, Arjuna. I have lots of things to say about Tyaga. You want to know about Tyaga? Let's talk about Satvika Tyaga, because we have just come from, what is that? Gunatraya Vibhaga. So let's talk about Rajasika Tyaga. Tyaga means giving up. Let's talk about Tamasika Tyaga. Let's also talk about what to give up, what not to give up. Let's talk about all of that. In other words, the sannyasa question is just dropped. You will see in the Lord's answer. First, let us look at the question. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna went skydiving.
No.
No. Okay. So then, what did he say? Sannyasahatu, sannyasasya mahabaho. It's very interesting, because in the 5th chapter, he said, he called him Mahabaho. Lord, I should find that verse, because Lord Krishna called him Mahabaho, and it almost starts the same way. And now it's like Arjuna has flipped the script on the Lord. 6th verse. Sannyaasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptumayo gataha. The Lord is calling, this is the Lord talking. And the Lord is saying sannyasa is very difficult to gain without being equipped by karma yoga. Almost the same thing. Instead of sannyasastu, it is sannyasasya mahabaho. He is calling the Lord Mahabaho. It's almost the same. And so, this is done on purpose by Vyasa to make us think that, to make us recall these kinds of conversations. This is what is called samanvaya. Tattu samanvayat being the 4th Brahma Sutra. Samanvaya means we see the patterns. The mind sees the patterns through the grahana of the words. You grasp the words, you see the patterns. And then you say, oh, I've heard this before. Where? It doesn't matter if the answer doesn't come 5th chapter. Let it not come. But you've heard the verse. You've heard the words. There is a familiarity. There is a recognition. And that is reveled in. Because there is a, here he is flipping the script by saying, Mahabaho, you call me the mighty armed one, but you are the one who is what? Mighty armed. You are the one who is mighty armed. And you are calling me mighty armed, but you are Bhagavan. And so therefore what? Therefore, tattvam ichhami veditum, to know. I desire to know. Ichhami veditum tattvam, truth. I desire to know the truth of what? Tyagasya and sannyasasya. And if that is not clear, he says prithak, distinctly. I want to know the truth about Tyaga. One, I want to know the truth about Sannyasa. Two, these two things I really want to know. And he addresses Lord Krishna as Keshi Nishudana. This is a new one. Not quite. Not quite new. Here also there are certain patterns. Even we'll see what Keshi Nishudana is. But in other places he's called him Keshava. Look at the first verse on chapter 3. I want you to look at it because again there are some similarities and patterns. We'll be doing this a lot in the 18th chapter because it's a summary. So we have to do Simhavalokanam. Yeah. Mata buddhir janardana tattva kim karmani vimam niyojayasi Keshava. Keshava is also Keshi Nishudana. Okay. Then there is one more place it is used. I think it's in the 30th verse of the first chapter. I may be wrong, but let me just see if that is the case. 30th verse of the first chapter. Yes? Yeah, 31st verse. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. So it's not exactly new, it's kind of new, but then it is very much it is already there. And the fact that it is there in the first verse of the third chapter, which is discussing the same question to bring us back to that. So already in the first verse, we have had two references to the question in the 5th chapter and the same question in the 3rd chapter, just by the alankara of the words used. So this Keshi was a dangerous demon, hairy demon. That's why called Keshi. Kesha means hair. So, but not Rishi Kesha. It's not like that, okay? Shikanam Ishaha, that's different, okay? Here Keshi means some terrible hairy demon, and then he didn't like how he looked, and so he disguised himself as a white horse with a long tail and a long, what is that called? Mane. Yeah, long mane. And then he decided he was one of the minions of Kamsa. Kamsa, a dangerous tyrant, and so Krishna was born to make away with him, and then Kamsa kept sending people, these kinds of demons, to kill Krishna. Keshi went, tried to kill Krishna, and grew into this huge, disguised as a huge horse. And Krishna gave him one like this. All his teeth fell out. Became a toothless horse. You know? And then got very angry. Kind of, all his aplomb is gone. He just comes and attacks and one thing and everything, all the teeth fell out at one time. And then he's just reeling from that blow and then comes at him again with even greater force. Krishna takes him for a walk with his 4 legs and lassos him and makes off with him. And then he's stunned, comes back for round number 3. He was such a strong demon. And then tries to bite Krishna. Krishna just happily puts his hand in his throat and makes his hand big, big, big and suffocates along with the mic. Suffocates him. Suffocates him. End of Keshi. Nishudana means the one who made him, offed the demon called Keshi. And so, Prithak, don't say Prithak Keshi Nishudana. It is Sannyasasya, and then what is the other one? Sannyasa and Tyagasya cha Tattvam Prithak Ichhami Veditum. The Prithak means separately, distinctly. That goes over there, okay? Not here, not with Keshi Nishudana. So he says, why does he call him Keshi Nishudana? First, to remind us of what all we have been through. We have been through soldier Arjuna, who turned into disciple Arjuna, driver Krishna, who turned into Acharya Krishna. We have been through a lot. And we have been through the same question in the 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, also 12th chapter. And so this is to remind us of all this. A beautiful prastavana, introductory verse is given. And we still know that sophisticated might be Arjuna's language, sophisticated might be his way of putting things across, but his head is stuck in sannyasa. He is not able to overcome that. And so let us see the Lord's answer. Just by way of introduction to the Lord's answer will only come at verse number 4. The verses number 2 and 3, the Lord merely sums up the prevalent ideas about Tyaga. Sannyasa he doesn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. He only sticks to the Tyaga. Okay, so let us read. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kamyanam karmanam nyasam Sannyasam kavayo viduhu Sarva karma phalatyagam Pravustyagam vichakshanaha Tyajyam doshavadityeke Karma prahurmanishinaha Yajnadana tapah karma Natyajyam iti chapare. These two are what? Introductory verses of before the Lord lands on his answer. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam. Nyasam means nishchayena asaha nyasaha. Asaha to throw, give up. The giving up giving up of kamya karma. What is kamya karma? Desire-based karma. All karmas are desire-based, but karma directed towards the fulfillment of particular desires. Harnessing the karma for desire fulfillment of specific kinds is called kamya karma. So giving up kamya karma is called sannyasa iti manishinaha ahuhu. People who know. Manishin means manaha plus eat. Manishin. So, meaning the master of the mind. Meaning a sage, a knower of Atma. And so, what do the Manishinas say? Kavayo viduhu. Where do Manishina come? Next one. Doesn't matter. It's good to know that now itself. Yeah. So, Kavayo viduhu. Kavi means Duradarshi. Not Indian television. Okay? Doordarshan, no. So, Duradarshi means the one who sees more than what is there. So, someone who has foresight, like a rishi, like a sage. So, Kavayo viduhu. The sages say. What do they say? The dropping of kamya karma is sannyasa. And then what is tyaga? And then some other people say sarva karma phala tyaga. The tyaga, what is tyaga? Renunciation, giving up, is sarva karma phala, not karma tyaga. There is a difference. Karma tyaga means I stop doing karma. Dangerous. Okay? Well, because if you don't do, what will you do? You can't sit. Even if you say, I'm simply sitting, is that a karma or not? It is a karma. And so it's not stopping of karma, but it is the giving up of all karma phala. That is called tyaga iti vichakshanaha ahuhu. Vichakshanaha means the knowledgeable people who say this. The learned, wise people say that. Then, why should the karmas be given up? Because the Manishins, the people who are the masters of the mind, learned people, wise people, what do they say? They say that karma is inherently defective. Think of doing something, it is fraught with stress. Okay? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Cultural program, you know. so many things. How to do this. You don't have to do this. Take it easy. Just whatever you do will be fine. So, I have to do this. I must do something. And there is so much stress. And then somehow gearing up the effort and everything, I do it. But then what? Who is doing it? The person who is fallible, correct? Fallible person is doing it. Nobody is infallible, nobody is Bhagavan on the empirical level. So the fallible person is doing it, and then before doing it, there will be mistakes. While doing it, there will be mistakes. After doing it, there will be mistakes. And after everything is done, there will be still more mistakes. Right? And so, doshavat. And then even if you do something with the heart, with the intent to make everybody happy, then there will be at least 1/4 of the people who will be angry at you. They will not be happy, no matter what you have done. So this is why doshavat karyam, that which has to be done is what? Doshavat. This is not the Lord's opinion. This is some people's opinion. So the karyam is doshavat, tat tyajyam. Therefore it should be given up. So, because every karma is inherently filled with defects, so therefore it should be given up. And then, but at the same time, don't give up these 3 things which we studied about at length in the last chapter. What was that? Yajna, tapa. Don't give these 3 things. Other than these 3 things, give up everything else. Certain other people say. Now, why does Lord Krishna talk about all this? Because he wants Arjuna to think. He wants Arjuna to say, see that there are differing views. There will be some people who say, don't give up Nitya Karma, don't give up Naimittika Karma, give up Kamya Karma, Nishiddha Karma, and then Prayashchitta Karma. Prayashchitta Karma, why do you need? If you do Nishiddha Karma. If Nishiddha Karma means, what is Nishiddha Karma? Prohibitory actions are not done, and then why will you need Prayashchitta? Atonement. You only have to say sorry when you make a mistake. Don't make the mistake, don't say sorry. And so all these you give up, but and then what? Don't give up the first 2, Nitya Karma, Naimittika Karma, things that have to be done every day and certain other things once in a while which you have to do. Don't give up these 2, some people say. So, when Arjuna hears directly from Lord Krishna, he might not, because Lord Krishna is steering him back to Karma Yoga, he might not like it. He might say, but what do the other people say? Right? And so therefore, other people's opinions are given earlier, because they are all learned people's opinions and the prevailing opinions of the same time, not very different from Lord Krishna's opinion too. So he is making the Manishinas say, Yajna, Dana and Tapaha must never be given up. So this is the prevailing opinion. Now he says, listen to what I have to say. Nishchayam shrinu me tatra त्यागे भरत सत्तम त्यागो हि पुरुष व्याघ्र त्रिविधः संप्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्. So he says, now after listening to some of the prevalent views, Nishchayam, for sure, me shrunu, learn from me, listen from me, tatra, in this context, tyage, in the context of tyaga, he Bharata Sattama. Among all the people in the Bharata clan, you are the foremost Sattama. And then the most, what's the Sat means? Grown up, emotionally grown up in the Kuru family. And then he says, Tyagaha hi Purusha Vyagra. Purusha Vyagra means the lion, not lion, what's the other one? Tiger. The tiger among people. So the one who is the bravest among all. You don't have to take that literally. So, so the one who is the bravest and the one who is the most sattvic among the Bharata clan, please listen. And what is that? Tyagaha trividhaha samprakirtitaha. This is called a deflection device. Not poetically, but according to what the Lord is doing. What did he want to know? Difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. Two things. Out of these two things, tell me, ekam vada nishchitya. Tell me one thing. What is the difference between these two things? Forgetting those two things, now he is introduced three things. A wonderful, what should I say, pedagogical device of deflection. Yes, because he wants to feed him something. When the mother wants to feed the baby, she says, "Oh, look at this birdie," and the child says, "No, I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat." Look over there. Is that a bird? Is that a monkey? It will go in. So here, when he is not looking, suddenly it is now, instead of two things, now he has to look at three things, but all of them are connected to what? Tyaga alone. Where is sannyasa? Nowhere. So he says, so listen to me for sure. And then tyagaha trividham. Tyaga, according to me, is threefold. Threefold it is. And let me tell you how. But before that, let me tell you what is not to be given up. And what is not to be given up? Yeah. YDP. Yajnadana tapaha. So, Yajnadana tapaha or Yajnadana tapamsi should not be given up. Karyameva tat. That has to be performed. Why? Why it has to be performed? Because you are not ready for sannyasa. That is what is not said. Why is it not said? Because the same Lord told us in the last chapter, Priyam bruyat, Hitam bruyat. So if we can put it positively, you don't tell somebody, hey, you know what, you are not ready. Even in the morning we heard this from Swamiji. What did he say? If the Swami determines that the student is not ready to study, the Swami will not say, OMG, you don't have Shama, you don't have Dhamma, you don't have Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam and the other three. Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, go home. What were you thinking? That is not a nice thing to say, right? The hope always is that they will learn. they will gain. So let me try to help this person by making sure that maybe they are on an express road to gain the qualifications. So if the ashram is in the south, they will say, go to Varanasi, bring water, and then bathe the ashram Shivalinga in the south. Only 3 times, and then I will definitely teach you. They will just give an assignment. And then what will happen? So many scenarios you can see. So the brahmachari wannabe trots off, makes it to Kashi a few months later by foot. And then as he is filling the water, he sees across the bank a sweet young thing also filling the water. Where does your father live? I want to ask your hand in marriage. And then what? And the children have very unique names. Isha, Kena, Katha, named after the Upanishads he longed to study. That's one possibility. Then another possibility also we can think. Going to Kashi, filling his water, and then he comes across another brahmachari also filling the water. Oh, which ashram you came from? You were also sent on an errand. Yes, I also, me too. Yeah, it was so difficult coming here, so this thing. Hey, you are interested in starting a business? We can have an agarbatti business. Let's do this business together. Yeah. So half the people would not come back because some other thing grabbed them, and they were happy, no problem. For the time being, they were doing wherever their hearts carried them. But then those that came back with what? All the qualifications. So you don't tell people you're not ready for sannyasa. You don't tell people you don't have the qualifications, go home. So here that's the reason he says that he doesn't say that. So that's what he says, that yajnadana tapah karma natyajyam. He just says you are not to give up these 3 things. And what does the sannyasi do? Give up these 3 things. Sannyasi gives up these 3 things. You are not to give up these 3 things. And then he puts a positive spin on it, which is the truth. It's not that he is lying to Arjuna. We really need to learn from Krishna how to speak. It's just so beautiful. It's very, very authentic and amazing and does not cause hurt. And then he says that Pavanani Manishinaha. The Manishins, the knowledgeable people, the wise ones, what do they say? It purifies. Yajna, dana and tapas not only purifies the karma, not only purifies the karma phala, but also purifies the doer of the karma and the karma phala. Just amazing. And then further, why does it purify is going to be talked about in the next verse. Etanyapitu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. So, nishchitam matam uttamam. This is my best take on the subject. Meaning, this is my certain take. I'm not going to change my mind. This is the best teaching on the subject you'll ever receive. And what is this teaching? The teaching is that etani means yajnadana tapamsi karmani. Etani karmani sangam tyaktva. While doing, do not have a connection to the action in the form of what? Doer, karta. And then do not receive the results of actions from the standpoint of what? I am the receiver, bhokta. So when you cut the connection of identifying as I am the doer and I am the recipient of the results of action. When these two things are not there, then you wait and see how it contributes to your growth. It is just wonderful. So then kartavyani, and that is when what happens? It becomes pavanani. How does it become pavanani? Because there is no sangha in its performance. Sangha means involvement. Over involvement is not there in the performance of which, and then the over identification is not there in the receipt of the results thereof. And then he says that he already told us that there are three kinds of, what are they? Three kinds of tyaga. And then, so that is going to be talked about in the next 3 verses. However, there is a small change. Before, when we studied the sattva, rajas, tamas, what would be the first quality? Sattva. And then rajas, then tamas. Here he is going the opposite way. Tamas, tamasic tyaga, rajasic tyaga, sattvika tyaga. He has reversed the order just to keep it, what should I say, keep us engaged and keep it slightly different. And there may be another reason also, we'll look into that. So, the next 3 verses, 7, 8 and 9, we'll chant together. Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagah tamasah parikirtitah dukkhamithyeva yat karma karyaklesha bhayatyajet savritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga sattviko matah. So, niyatasya tu sannyasah. Sannyasa here is not sannyasa. Sannyasa means tyaga only, giving up. Giving up of the nitya karma. Niyatam here means nitya karma. Niyatasya tu sannyasah. When you give up nitya karma, things you are supposed to do all every day, when you give those up, like puja, dana, yajna, tapas, etc. When you give all that up, then what happens? Then it is not a tenable situation. Na upapadyate. It does not bless. Why? Because one is neither here nor there. That is not called tyaga. What you are supposed to do, if you don't do, that is not tyaga. That is actually a withdrawal from life, and that is, and it hurts other people who are depending on your services. If you have children, what do you have to do? Grow them up. If you have a house, you have to take care of it. You have to pay the bills. You can't say, I have renounced the bills. All the bills I am renouncing. If you renounce the bills and continue to consume whatever you want because you are used to it or because you need it or want it, then it disturbs. We have seen this in chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram na anuvartayati ihayah aghayuhu indriyaramah mogham partha sajivati. So like this, there is a chakra, there is a wheel of life that Bhagavan has set in motion, and it's still continuing to this day. So, paropkaraya phalanti vrikshaha. The vrikshaha means what? Trees. Trees give fruit not for themselves. They stand in the sun, give us shade. The rivers flow not for they are thirsty. They flow so that we can have, they flow constantly so that we can be quenched and we can have food to eat because they irrigate the crops. And this way, all the things, including animals, plants, they are all following the laws of this chakra. They are following all the laws. The only one that is not following is who? The human being. That's all. That says a lot. Only one who says, I revolt, I differ, is through the tamasic use of the free will. It's a withdrawal which is not warranted. It's not a withdrawal coming out of a emotional maturity. What kind of a withdrawal it is? It is a withdrawal out of some, I'm not able to fulfill my desires, so I'm not going to be doing this. It's a giving up, it's a difficult situation. It's a non-participation out of so many reasons, but not the correct reason here, which is due to emotional maturity or knowledge or wanting to study. None of those things apply. And then, so that is mohat. So mohat parityagaha, of what needs to be done every day. Because of some delusion, the enjoined actions by the Vedas are given up. Tat tamasaha parikirtitaha. Parikirtitaha means it is well known as tamasic. Tamasic means sick, that's all. Yeah, it's not a healthy attitude, it's a sick attitude. That is how to remember this one. Okay? See how nicely now Arjuna has stopped thinking about sannyasa completely. Now he is only thinking, oh, I want to be sattvic. When is sattvic coming? You see now why he reversed the trend? To keep Arjuna's attention fixed. Because sattvika, if it had been, Arjuna would have checked out and asked him again. Again when Arjuna Uvacha would have come. That was precluded here. Because now he has to wait till the correct answer, what is the correct position on sattvika will come. He has to wait. Then what is rajasa parityaga? Dukkhamiti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet. Kaya means body. Klesha means pain, difficulty. Okay. Kaya klesha bhaya means happiness, fear. Okay. So out of fear, kaya klesha bhayat, fifth case. So that is the hetu. So out of fear, fear of what? Fear of hurting the body in some way. Body here includes body, mind, sense complex. Hurting the body, hurting the mind, hurting the whole complex. So out of fear of that, then what does one do? One says, dukkham. Dukkham means here not sorrow. Oh, it's so difficult. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. It's so overwhelming. This is what? Arjuna. This is Arjuna right here. And again, the Lord doesn't say this is what you are trying to do. Without saying that, he just puts it there. In a very sterile way, he just puts it. This is what the Shastra says, this is what the Manishins say, this is what the Vichakshanas say. You can take whatever you want out of this. And so, the person who wants to run away because he or she is afraid, or because the difficulty of the work, or because there is a fear of making mistakes, that is also there. There is also a kaya klesha there. Mistake means I have to live with myself afterwards, and I can't live with myself. So better than to make a mistake, what shall I do? Not do it at all. So then, if that is the position, that position is called Rajasika Tyagam. And then what happens if I continue to do it? Saha means this kind of a Tyaga. So Saha goes with Tyaga. So Saha Tyagaha Kritva Rajasam Tyagam Na Eva Tyagaphalam Labhet. you do not get the fruits of Tyaga. The fruits of Tyaga are what? The lightness of heart and the freedom, all that one does not get at all. Fruits of the Tyaga are gone. You don't get. Why? Because one hasn't even started here. One hasn't even looked at it. Just out of fear has wanted to run away. The first one runs away out of what? Apathy. The second one runs away out of difficulty and fear. And the third one sticks there. Karyam iti evam. This needs to be done. I might not be the best person here to do it. I might not be the best qualified person. But what should happen here? It needs to be done. And I happen to be here. I have to do it. Because it needs to be done. And then because so many people are depending upon it. Karyam iti eva yat karma. Which karma is done because it has to be done. Niyatam, all the time. Kriyate is done by the people. How? Sangam tyaktva phalam cha eva tyaktva. Giving up the attachment to the doing. Why me? How come I am only stuck with this kind of a thing? How come other people don't get this? How come my life only I have this kind of a thing? What's wrong with my karma? Why did Bhagavan give me this kind of karma where all the people abandon me and I am left holding the stick? And this is the feeling. And so Sangam Tyaktva, so without getting into that kind of a identification, Sangam Tyaktva, and then Phalam cha Tyaktva, not feeling that, oh, if I do this, then a few people will say, fantastic, bravo, congratulations, pat on the back, and give me some kudos. Maybe my name will come in some, I don't know what, paper, newsletter, flyer, brochure. Somewhere my name will come and everybody will say, clap, clap, clap. Some award I might get. All this is not there. So this is called Karma Phala Sangha. First one is what? Karma Sangha. Do you see the difference? Yeah. Karma Phala Sangha means wanting some particular result or results. Karma Sangha means even in the doing, feeling either targeted or feeling like I am the best and I am doing this so nicely, is everybody looking at me. That is also, both of these are not there, for which that is called Satvikaha Uchyate. And then further, a correct Tyagi is not the correct Tyagi, a Satvika Tyagi, is not deterred by any kind of results of action. And then this is further explanation of the Satvika Tyaga in the 10th and in the 10th, 11th and the 12th verses. And why these verses are there? These verses are there to elaborate on the effects of Satvika Tyaga. What happens to the body, what happens to the mind, what happens to my demeanor as a result of this kind of a Tyaga, that is going to be elaborated. Let us chant. Nadveshtya kushalam karma, Nadveshtya kushalam karma, Kushalena nushajjate, Kushalena nushajjate, Tyagi sattva samavishtaha, Tyagi sattva samavishtaha, Medhavi chinna samshayaha, Medhavi chinna samshayaha. Nadveshti is not hating, is not put off by what? Akushalam karma. Is not put off by, is not, it does not despise things that are difficult to do. Nadveshti akushalam karma. And then when happy things are given to do, na anushajjate, does not cling to any good kind of karma. Good here means auspicious. Does not cling to that and does not say, this is terrible work, I'm not going to do this work. This is wonderful work, I have to have this work only. Because everything is what? Both the pleasant and the unpleasant have to be done. The puja room has to be cleaned, and then what? Bathroom also has to be cleaned. Puja room cleaning is nice because one only goes there while doing puja. There's not much use there, and so it is generally kept clean. So that is very quick and that's very easy. Bathroom nobody wants to clean. Puja room everybody will want to clean, and so therefore this is the sattvic person is so even tempered that does not really balk when the unpleasant job is assigned, and does not really rejoice and cling only to the tasks that are pleasant. And then this also has come somewhere. Tomorrow I will find out it's come in the 14th chapter. We have a similar verse. We will look at that in detail. So Tyagi Sattva Samavishtah. Samavishtah means covered by Sattva. Totally wrapped in Sattva. This Tyagi, what does he or she do? Because of this attitude, gains the knowledge. Medhavi, the one who is in Medhavin. Yes, it's a win-win situation. So you keep having Sattvika Tyaga, then you become what? Medhavi. And then what do you become? Chinna Samshaya. No doubts. Where is Brahman? Am I Brahman? How to experience Brahman? When will I get Brahman? What is wrong with me? No doubts. Am I an idiot or am I Brahman? No doubts at all. What's the difference between this and that? Bhagavan and Brahman. Is knowledge the only way to know Brahman? No such doubts exist. Why? Because this attitude which is given in the first line, not clinging to the pleasant and eschewing the unpleasant, not doing either of them, makes one emotionally matured. Because of that, certain things are not supplied. We have to supply. Guru Prapti takes place, Jnana Prapti takes place, exposure to Jnana takes place, Jnana Prapti takes place, then the person becomes a wise person. So that's why the Sattvika Tyaga is important. Sattvika Tyaga is not the kind of Tyaga Arjuna is wanting to do or think about, because it does not involve wearing orange and giving up all karma. What is he asked to give up? Sangha towards the karma and Sangha towards the phala. Sangha means attachment, involvement. More we'll see when